Hello, this is Attorney Doug Jones. I wanted to take just a second today and talk about the advantages of pre-planning your estate. That is, planning before something bad happens. When we think about estate planning, usually we just think about what happens when we die. Who would we want our assets to go to? Who would we want to be executor of our will or trustee of our trust? And how can we save some taxes, estate taxes or other types of taxes? Those are all good things to think about, need to be thought about when you're preparing your estate plan. But also, we need to think about what happens if we don't die. What happens, for example, if we have a stroke or Alzheimer's, or something happens where we live for a good number of years before we die. In situations like that, it's very important to have your estate plan in place to say who you want to be an incapacity trustee and how you want your assets to be handled for your benefit. It's possible in situations like that to set up a trust in advance called an irrevocable trust, and it's a special type of irrevocable trust where you can put assets in it to protect those assets in the event you become incapacitated before you die, so that those assets are protected and so those assets don't have to be spent. You know, now for Medicaid purposes, and Medicaid is the federal program that pays for long-term care stays in nursing home. If you apply for Medicaid benefits, they can look back 5 years to see if any transfers or gifts have been made to children or to others 5 years before you apply for Medicaid. So it's important to have your plan set up well in advance. So if something does happen down the road, you've got those assets that you want to protect set up properly in a trust so they will be protected and so they won't be considered as transferred assets. They won't be within what we call the look-back period, the 5-year window that we can look back to see if any transfers have been made. So there are things that can be done, just know for purposes of today's lesson, there are things that can be done, estate planning techniques and tools that can be utilized to protect certain assets. A lot of times, again, we call these legacy assets, assets that you want to protect, like a family farm. In Arkansas, there's a lot of farms, and it's important, you know, maybe it's been in the family 2 or 3 generations and you really want to keep that in the family. There's ways to do that. The important thing to remember, plan ahead. Plan ahead. Because if you don't, then you get wherever the chips may fall. That's what you get. So thanks for spending a little time with me today, and we'll see you next time.